You can't make a lot the same colour like chemical dyeing. The chemical dyeing is so easy that when you start doing natural dyeing you realise that you probably can only get so much of one colour and so much of another colour, because it depends on the season when you collect them, the type of weather, the type of water, the type of soil it grows in. So it's very unlikely you're going to get two colours the same. So that's one of the drawbacks to it.
Except those 3 greens that I got.
Oh, yeah, you broke the record. No, got 3 colours. But the other thing is that they are beautiful colours. And the thing is that the colours that you get when you naturally dye, you probably can't get those any other way.
They're particularly beautiful in the sunlight.
Yeah, they're warm.
At night under candlelight, they're pretty dull, but in the sunlight.
They're lovely, they're absolutely beautiful. So, and of course this is an ancient antique art that started way back before any of us can remember, and they discovered, of course, that certain muds and clays would dye natural fibres, sheep's wool and so on, and it was all really a question of discovering how it worked. And as time went on, they discovered that if they used a metallic chemical which mordants the wool, which prepares the wool, the wool will absorb the colour better. It's more absorbent to the colours, and they're called mordants, and they're all a type of metallic salts. None of them are very nice, so they're not the sort of thing that you want to put in your kitchen cupboard and use, but they do work very well, and they change the colour that is absorbed by the material. Now I have done these just in preparation for our workshop today, so that you can see what happens, because it is fun when you put in a series of different coloured yarns and get a series of different colours, which you can play with too if you want to have a colour scheme, a various colour scheme. You can play with this, getting different colours. Now, the one is probably the easiest for us all to use, and is one of the most effective, is alum, and I have given you the alum recipe. Alum you can find, alum you can find because it's one of the things you use for pickling, and it's one of the things that you can usually buy in a grocery store. I've tried to mark them with little bits on here. I don't know where that one's gone. That one isn't.
Maybe it's in the bottom of the bag.
That one's copper.
That one's copper, you said?
Yes.
So did you use the copper pot?
No, I didn't. What I did, I had some copper sulfate crystals that I got actually, Sharon had them. And she gave me the mordants. And I got all the mordants here. She gave me these all in packets, and I put them in jars, which I think we can share if people would like to use them. They're copper sulfates, you have to sort of crush them a little bit. A lot of these are poisonous. I didn't use the potassium dichromate because that is light sensitive. It's used for photographic things.
I've been looking for that forever.
Have you? What do you want for?
Well, I wanted to try it because you put your fabric in that solution and you put a leaf and something on it and leave it in the sun.
I found a place to order it online, but I haven't yet. So.
Well, we have some.
Because I have it's called blueprint on fabric.
Well, the thing about it is that if you mordant it, it is light sensitive, so you keep the lid on the pot, but then you have to dry it in your basement. You have to keep it in a black bag. So really it didn't seem very practical for us to do today, but we do have the chrome. It is another mordant you can use. I just thought that we have 4 and that was really enough for
Now,
us.
will that hold the color?
Yes.
So you don't have to keep the wool in the dark?
No, it's just that it's activated by light. So if you mordant your wool...
Something like indigo.
Yes.
And air. Well, it's done by air.
I mean, I could have cooked it at home, put it in a pot and put it in the basement and dried it, but then I just thought it was a bit of a fiddle, and we had 4 anyway. So I've used these. Now the iron one, which I think is the one that's lost its little thing, I don't know where it's... I have them all marked. Anyway, the iron is obviously this one, because...
No, that's iron. I see the tag on the side of this one.
Okay,
It says alum.
Yeah, no, it says iron.
Oh, here it is. It's come off. Oh, I sewed it onto the wrong one.
Alum is on this side.
I went and sewed it on this morning. I sewed it on the wrong one. There we are. It should be on that one.
Good thing you know.
I know. Well, I knew I'd sewed it on. That's iron. Anyway, as time has gone on, we have accepted that some of these chemicals work better than others. Alum is very good, and you'll see that most of the mordants use with them cream of tartar, because that makes the acid, it makes the solution more acidic, and it takes the alum and it's kinder to the wool. Alum is the nicest one. Alum you're not supposed to wash when you've used it. You're supposed to keep it as it is. The iron one is the one that they say saddens it, and this makes it darker, brings the colour down. That's when you can use an iron pot. I thought we could experiment. We could put some normal wool in a pot with iron in it, and we could see how that compares with being done in another pot without iron. And this is ferrous sulfate, which I've got in there. The tin one makes the wool a bit harsh. These have been washed, incidentally.
We both found that cashmere.
Did you? Yeah. It makes it a bit harsh, and it brightens the colours. Tin can do all sorts of nice things, and it, particularly with red, it will bring a red out, whereas a lot of other things won't. But it does harshen the wool, and sometimes, you know, when you get good at this, you learn that you can put less in for a finer yarn than for a thick yarn. I don't know, you probably could add on to this too, Amanda, about mordants.
Yeah, I find tin is touchy, and you can add just a little bit to your dye bath with yarn that's been mordanted with alum, and then just add a little bit of tin, and that'll brighten your color.
Oh, good. Because there are two ways of doing it.
Oh, yeah.
The one way is to do it as we've done it, which is, quote, pre-mordanted wool, so we can see what the mordant does to it. But the other thing is to make your dye bath and then add the mordant to your dye bath, so that it's a dye bath when you've cooked up your whatevers. Then you add your mordant, and you have one, usually alum and cream of tartar. You can use oxalic acid too, which I haven't used, but we have a thing of that in here. This came from Sharon. She had all these very poisonous things. I put them all in a box, which sort of fits it, and I thought I would put on the outside mordant with a big poison skull on it, and we could keep it in the store cupboard. So that
If we ever get
Should
in
be
there.
safe.
it should be safe if we ever get it in there. But you know, these were from Sharon, and you know, it's really nice if you've been looking for something to just take the bottle you saw and put it back.
There's two in there, that ferrous and that
Potassium bicarbonate.
Yeah, they're both used in that blueprinting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, here
I'll
we
bring
are.
my book one day and
Okay.
can have a look at
To mordant, I think it's very simple really. You just put on your pot on the stove. You use your mordant chemicals and you dilute them with a little bit of boiling water to melt them, and put them in the pot, and then you just raise the temperature of the pot and simmer it for about an hour. I actually didn't really boil them, I just kept them hot.
Yeah.
Boiling wool is very unkind to it, and you never boil silk, but as long as it's hot.
Yeah, simmering.
Yeah, just below. So that's what I've done with these. Now, where I thought what we would do would be to make little samples for ourselves, and then we could have a little list of how we've little record. And I think it's very nice if you're doing this as a group of people to have a record. So well brought up. So I bought some filing cards for you, and I bought my little make holes. And so I thought when you've got your little test, and you can take a little bit, say we've got a little bit of this in, you can just put a little bit through here, and if this is now going to be walnuts, and you used it with whatever it is on here, it's copper I think, and you'll put it on like that, and then you'll have a little record, and then you'll put the other ones down there, and you'll have something to to look back on. Because I think if you're going to do a thing like this, it's really much better to have a record than to just keep them in a cupboard and never really look at them. So I'm sorry I don't have bigger ones, but I thought that this would be an interesting exercise. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our skeins, and if you would like to, make your sample cards so that we're ready to, when our wool's dyed, put it on the sample cards. This and this I'll put over on the side. The mordants I put on here, you will have a no mordant, an alum, tin, iron and copper. Those will be the different mordants that you'll each try in each of the dye baths. So if you make a list like this, with this, you'll be all ready when we're, when we're done. Hope you're very impressed how organised I was.
Very impressed. Very, very impressed.
When
And
I
that
was at
book of yours.
When I was at Sheridan, we had these things, and it's just too difficult to make these long ones for us, so I just thought we'd have hiding cards. And you can see here that these go back to 1960.